Thank you, Karine. Following up on something you said earlier, if President Biden's top domestic priority is inflation, why doesn't he have more to show for it?
So the president understands, and we've talked about this many times, that inflation is an issue, high cost. Cost is an issue for the American people. And so he's been very clear about making that his number one economic priority. And he has done the work. And he's done the work with congressional Democrats. When you think about the Inflation Reduction Act, which is going to lower the cost for our seniors, millions and millions of seniors across the country. When you think about that $2,000 cap on their own Medicare prescription, when you think about the thousands of dollars that our seniors pay a month, now that's going to be $2,000 a year. That is the work that congressional Democrats and congressional Democrats and the president has done. Republicans did not vote for that at all. And what Republicans want to do is that they want to repeal that very historic piece of legislation that is also going to lower energy costs, that is also going to help fight climate change. They want to get rid of it. So there is a contrast that we are going to make, which is how Republicans are actually going to make things worse, and Democrats want to do the opposite and make things a little easier. I just talked about the hearing aids, which is going to help 30 million Americans across the country.
But who exactly thinks the president is doing a good job on inflation? Because we've got to be told at times he receives his lowest job ratings on inflation, net negative 38 points.
We understand that there are challenges that are in front of us here in this country. That is why the president has taken action to lower costs. Think about gas prices. You think about healthcare premiums. You think about Medicare, again, beating special interests so that we can lower costs, so Medicare can actually be able to lower costs for senior citizens. When you think about all of these steps that he has taken to make sure that that is happening, Republicans in Congress refuse to be partners with us on this. They refuse to help us. You think about the American Rescue Plan that has helped create an economy that is indeed resilient, that created jobs. They refuse to help.
Have the president's economic advisors told him that the general consensus now is that the American Rescue Plan has contributed to inflation?
Look, Secretary Yellen, who is incredibly well respected, as you know, in the economic space, has spoken to this. So I will leave her words speak to that, to the statement that you just made. Here's the thing. What the president has done, the issues that he has worked on, when you think about Medicare, we think about health care, you think about energy costs, you think about Inflation Reduction Act, you think about the CHIPS Act, they are popular. They are popular with the American people. They understand, the American people understand that these pieces of legislation that we have worked so hard to get across the line, that are now law, is going to change the lives of American people. Now, is there work to be done? There's always more work to be done, but we are taking the steps to do that. Again, congressional Republicans, they are doing nothing, absolutely nothing. They want to repeal, they want to take away the advances that we have made. Go ahead, Kelly.
When the president either hears or is briefed about Senator Warnock in Georgia not saying that he would support or answering the question about would he support the president in 2024. Does he view that as disloyal to the president personally or to the administration, or does he view it as strategic in a race? Georgia's a state President Biden won in 2020, and yet as a candidate, the sitting senator would not engage on that question in a debate format. So how does the president view something like that?
So, again, just to be very mindful of the Hatch Act.
I don't the president's feelings about
no, I hear the president's feelings. Here's what the president understands and he knows, is that he is the leader of the party. And he is not only that, but he is the president of the United States. And it is important to him to make sure that he addresses and deals with the most important issues to the American people. That is his focus. He's not focused on 2024, and he's spoken to that, and I've spoken to that, and he said he intends to run. We're going to leave that there. We're not going to speak to it any further. But he has been very clear about how important he sees his job to make sure that we understand that we meet people where they are when we talk about inflation. That's why he's made the inflation the number one economic number one priority and when it comes to his economic policy. That's why we have the bipartisan infrastructure legislation, right? To really deal with what Americans care about, to make sure that we're dealing with infrastructure, dealing with supply chain, creating jobs. I mean, think about the American Rescue Plan, right? To make sure we put money in people's pockets, to make sure that we open schools, got shots in arms. Those are the things that the president understood that was before him that he needed to address. And so that's his focus. That's how he's thinking about things. As you're asking me how he's feeling, how he sees things, he sees this opportunity as being president of the United States, as being the person who is able to help create legislation, get things passed.
Distancing from fellow Democrats?
Look, he sees the importance of the job that he has in front of him, right? And which is delivering for the American people. You've heard him say that over and over again the last couple of days, and you will continue to hear him say that over the next several weeks.